Astros fans, it's Larry the GM, and I'm coming to you with some content before we even get to the lineup analysis later this afternoon. I wanted to pump out a couple videos for you guys. One is going to be really positive. We're going to talk all about Jose Abreu. The other one, some of you may not appreciate too much, but it's going to be related to Jose Abreu as well. So it's Jose Abreu Day in celebration of his great day last night, and we are going to have some fun today celebrating Jose Abreu. All right, let me jump off that picture and let's get to the article. All right, welcome to the Jose Abreu experience. Folks, I have been promising you since things started off really challenging with Jose Abreu that I would be on top of it, that I would stay focused on trying to bring you analysis of what was going on, that if we saw good signs, I would share those signs with you. And folks, I started to share good signs with you on June 5th, which was, as I look back, about 1 week after I think there was a step change for Jose Abreu. On May 28th, Jose Abreu hit a home run in Oakland, which was the first home run of the year, and there's been many more since. I think 11 more since. I don't know. I don't want to get yes, and I don't want to look it up. So there's been quite a few since then. So Jose Abreu, I promised you in April I'd look. What did I say on June 5th? Folks, this is going to be the boldest positive call I can have ever made on the site. The former MVP is showing signs of a former self. He's back and the results are imminent. I know it's a bold statement to make about a player that time when I wrote that statement had a 50 WRC plus and a 537 OPS. I promise you I look for the positive signs, and I go through the rest of the article and I talk to you about what those positive signs were. Specifically, exit velocity data was one of the things I focused on the most. 10 days later, I followed up that article with another one that was validating what I had told you 10 days before. Like, we got 10 more days of data. Here's what would happen. Here's what happened. And he had hit another home run, and I showed you even what was about 17 days in at that point. Actually, yeah, 17 days in at that point. I showed you how the xwOBA data had shifted, and 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 backing that up with some of the exit velocity. Turned out Jose Abreu hit a 118 WRC plus in June. Really good month. If we had had that Jose Abreu all year long, I think we would have been like, okay, it wasn't exactly the MVP Jose Abreu, but we shouldn't have been expecting that necessarily at 36 years old. Then he hit 110 in July, which is not bad, but it's not probably what we were thinking we were paying for when we paid the price for Jose Abreu. Then early August hit, and early August was absolutely horrible. Jose Abreu in the first 9 days in August hit a negative 20 WRC plus. Something was wrong. He had a 265 OPS, a 141 WOBA, and these should be WOBAs. I'm sorry, guys, and a 239 xWOBA. So he was put on the IL with back issues, and it said he admitted then that this was something he'd been dealing with for months. So since that day, since coming back on August 23rd, Jose Abreu has been hitting like a machine. Now, really, for this chart, let's just appreciate the colors here, and we'll get to the other things in a minute in more detail. If you'll see, so we got three different time stamps in this on this graph or on this chart Excel spreadsheet here. The first is the data before up to 527. The next is from 527 to when he went on the IL list, and the last is the roughly 10 days since he's come back, or I guess no, I'm sorry, it's 2 weeks since he's come back. And you see, there's a lot more red, and then some of these numbers are really big. All right, well, I'm going to break it down for you, so don't worry about trying to read every number on that graph. I just wanted you to get the big picture. All right, so let's look at what the WOBA data says of these three specific time periods. You can see if you look at the WOBA, now this is like the actual results during these different time periods. Steady improvement as the year goes on, right? And that last section is really that's incredible performance. And you see a lot of that improvement, at least until to the second section, was hitting the fastballs. And people have kept telling me since, June, July, and August, like, hey, Brady's not having. I worry about him hitting the fastball. As a guys, since May 28th, he's hitting the fastball fine. It's been the breaking pitches and the off-speed pitches that he's still terrible at. And that's what this date is kind of the date I've been looking at that and the XWOB data below that. Right now, look at the data for the breaking pitches since he's come back from the IL. Now the off-speed pitches, guys, I'm just warning you that samples all okay. Wait a minute. Disclaimer: all these sample sizes are too small, and so, but the off-speed pitches are even smaller, and you can see that there's massive improvement in his versus breaking pitch versus slider versus the curveball. Massive improvement since he's come back. Something's happened where he's seeing that slider better than he was. That's validated in the XWOBA data. The XWOBA data says he's even better with the fastball with it. And XWOBA data is going to look at exit velocities, launch angles, quality of contact. Those things are being fed into the XWOBA calculation or XWOBA model to come up with that number. So you see that. All right. So that's where he is. Now, let's look at the exit velocities, and then we're going to pause and talk about a couple things. So look at this look at the exit velocities. You see that there was a step change after late May to that middle category, right? There was another step change when he's come back. He's hitting fastballs as well better than he has hit fastballs in 21 and 2022. He's hitting the slider curveball about what he did last. That is huge news that he's hitting the slider with the same exit velocity that he was. Now, this is the day. If you want one set of data, if you want to be like, I want to be like Larry GM. No one would ever want to do that, but if I want to be like Larry GM, what do I look at? You should be looking specifically for Abreu at the exit velocity data. And again, the off-speed pitches, there just haven't been enough there, but he had already improved dramatically on hitting the off-speed pitches in May, June, and July. Okay, so I'm not as worried about that. I've been concerned about the sliders and the curveballs, and that data here is really, really encouraging. And if you follow my Twitter, you know that I've been saying like watch him versus the slider tonight, watch him versus the slider tonight, and his home run, one of his home runs last night came off against the slider, and I think both of them did. I have to go look, but yeah, it was really, 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 really exciting night to see him get do so well against the slider. All right, so let's before we go on, I jumped right in. I'm so excited to give you this data. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please join the website. Subscribe to the website. Please uh, go to the Patreon. You'll see the link for the Patreon and most of these posts. Please jump on the Patreon page and subscribe to the Patreon site. Okay, guys, this is what is needed to help keep the site afloat, get popular, and help us promote the site with even more people. All right, so I said on June 5th that here's the progression I would think that we're going to see things, and I think this is still true. We're going to see the exit velocity data first. That's what I would say. Continue to monitor exit velocity data. Then we're going to see the XWOBA surge. We're seeing that for these time periods. And then the on-field results would follow, and we're already seeing the on-field results follow as he's been really amazing as he's come back from the injury. Okay, so let's take a step back. How good has it been, or how good has Abreu been since that infamous May 28th day when he hit his first home run? So this you can call this the red, white, and blue table because it was all blue before, it was all red after, basically, and then the whole year is white because it's the average in between, right? So bad, good, average, and you can see that um, his dad is his ex-Woba data afterwards 337 A 106 WRC plus, guys. He's been a 106 WRC plus hitter since May 28th. Not exactly what we all thought we were getting, but way better than the 44 WRC plus negative 1.3 WAR player that he was for the first 2 months of the year. And since that time, he's been a .4 WAR player, and since the last 2 weeks, he's been a point. He's delivered almost as much WAR. Well, he's delivered more WAR in the last 2 weeks than has delivered since May 28th until that time period. Right? It's crazy how good he's been since he's come back relative to where he's been all year. So he's been a 147 WRC plus hitter in the last 2 weeks. Now it's a tiny sample size. I get it. Somebody's gonna watch this video like, what's this guy talking about? These sample sizes are tiny. No doubt. You're right. They are. But this is the first fruits of the things we've been looking for from Jose Abreu. So guys, that's the Jose Abreu experience. We're hoping that, if we can keep monitoring this exit velocity data, if we can see this, we are getting the Jose Abreu we hope for and dreamed about. And you can compare. I've given you the career data, so you can compare where he's been. But at that 147 WRC plus is better than he's been since his MVP season. So if we can get the Jose Abreu we had since May 28th, the Astros can win the division with that. And with all the other great players that they have, they'll win the division if they're not getting that second black hole in the offense. And then if they can get the Jose Abreu we've had in the last 2 weeks, guys, that is really exciting, and I think they can win the World Series. So that's really how important this is. This is how excited. What I would say, get excited about what you've seen with the Jose Abreu experience, because if we get this Jose Abreu, the sky's the limit for the Astros this year. All right, thanks, guys. I'm going to end it there. But again, please subscribe to the channel. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the website. And please join our Patreon. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.